at 13 hours for Wake Up Guyana. Participate in our call-in segment to get instant feedback and solutions. Wake Up Guyana, only on Kaieteur Radio. Kaieteur Radio, the radio with a difference.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good evening to you and welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Before we get to the news in detail, let's get to today's front page comment of Kaieteur News. Opposition Oil Games. The opposition leader, speaking on behalf of his group, has little of significance to offer on this nation's oil. He is a study in artful dodging. The opposition, through its leader, has absolutely nothing to offer its constituency and wider Guyana regarding the disposition of the Kanji and Kaieteur oil blocks. He is about foot-dragging paralysis, information ignorance, and tactical nonsense on oil in his weekly press conferences. On this most important prosperity issue in this country, the opposition and its leader pretend to be lost at sea without paddle or compass. They know nothing, they see nothing, hear nothing, and think of nothing on oil, particularly the Kanji and Kaieteur blocks. The opposition is deceptive on our oil. The opposition plays games with our oil. The opposition is closing ranks and joining forces with the crafty PPP to choke and rob Guyanese of our wealth. Why is the coalition doing so and making a complete fool of the entire group and this nation? What has it been offered for its gamesmanship and silence? What grand bargain is the opposition a part of in an unholy alliance with PPP leaders to sell out the poor people of this country for lifetimes to come? How many pieces of silver were paid to or demanded by the opposition for its conspiracy of silence and betrayal of black, Indian, indigenous, and mixed Guyanese? Something is not right about the opposition and its lengthy wait for information. Something is terribly wrong about the opposition dancing and clowning, bobbing and weaving, ducking and making a total of itself with our oil. Somebody sold out Guyanese. It is not us. We suggest checking with Freedom House and Congress Place for answers. Just do not expect the truth. And now for the news in detail. 195 students who were placed at the incomplete Good Hope Secondary School on the east coast of Demerara are writing the NGSA 2020 will start online teaching interaction in 2 weeks with their teachers. This suggestion was made by a parent, Ms. Beena Ganesh, during the meeting held at the Good Hope Secondary School. It was communicated to the more than 100 parents of the students by Minister of Education Priya Manik Chand, who requested to have a meeting Monday to provide an update on the Ministry of Education's plans for the institution. In other news, Qatar has pledged support to several sectors as part of strengthened diplomatic relations with Guyana. In a number of areas, including energy, oil and gas, services, and infrastructure, the Middle Eastern country is prepared to give support. In a government release, it was revealed that this support was pledged to President Irfan Ali during a telephone conversation today with Emir of Qatar, His Royal Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. According to the release, the two discussed several areas of collaboration and cooperation, which will include support for the agriculture sector through investments in the halal industry, expansion of the housing program, the strengthening of diplomatic ties between the two countries, and support in other critical sectors. Let's tell you now that Mid-Atlantic has no assets, proven track record, finances to acquire Kanji block. It has been 7 years since Mid-Atlantic Oil and Gas Inc. registered as a company and 5 years since it was awarded the Kanji block. It is now 2020 and Mid-Atlantic has not stabilized itself at an office space and its website is still, quote-unquote, under construction. This paints a fair picture of the company entrusted by the Donald Ramotar administration with the job of developing one of Ghana's most lucrative oil blocks, now estimated to hold 5.1 billion oil equivalent barrels, worth more than $200 billion even by today's depressed oil prices. Mid-Atlantic received the Kanji block without demonstrating the requisite assets, proven track record, and finances to acquire and develop such a block. When the company was incorporated, 2 directors were named, Nicholas Chakasang and Hewley Nelson. JHI Associates, one of the owners of the Kanji block, has so far avoided the supplication of vital details about the company, especially its beneficial owners. The beneficial owners are the people who ultimately control an asset and benefit from its use. JHI has a 17.5% stake in the block, said to hold about 5.1 billion oil equivalent barrels. The company just about sprung up for the purpose of owning the Kanji block. Its website, a vague collection of pages on the internet, provides very little information about itself, save and except for the ownership of the block. One of the reasons JHI has managed to stay so under the radar is due to its incorporation in the British Virgin Islands, which is a secrecy jurisdiction and tax haven. This is a major red flag for governments that prioritize transparency and mitigation of corruption risks. More to come tomorrow. When oil companies are created in a matter of days or weeks and are registered in territories that keep the identity of the real owners a secret, it creates a perfect condition for corruption and tax evasion to flourish. It ultimately robs the citizens who are the rightful owners of a nation's wealth, billions of dollars. Taking this fact into consideration, expert on oil sector corruption Alexandra Gillies posited that companies registered in tax havens should always send alarm bells ringing for authorities, as their pursuit of a nation's natural resources leaves the citizenry in particular at great risk. In other news, documents shared with us show that Designs Unlimited, a company founded by the son of the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Dharamlal, had received a total of $485,000 worth in contracts over a period of 1 month. Designs Unlimited, a local printery and embroidery company, had submitted 3 separate invoices to the local government ministry. We had reported on Sunday that Minister Dharamlal had allegedly instructed his staff to hire this same company that was founded by his son. This was after opposition MP Ganesh Mahipal had released documents highlighting the damning revelations. Meanwhile, Minister Dharamlal has since refuted all of the claims made against him by Mahipal. Let's tell you now that instead of rendering assistance, the driver of a tinted black Nissan Tida motor car decided to flee the scene after he struck down 2 Kaieteur News staffers on Monday. The incident occurred on the Houston Eastbank Demerara public road sometime around 16:45. The staffers, 30-year-old Royden Rockcliffe and 23-year-old Clinton Lane, were at the time on work detail, which saw them traveling on a motorcycle along the western carriageway of the public road. Rockcliffe, the rider, said that he felt an impact from behind, which caused him to lose control of the bike, which, as a result, fell on the road. Both Rockcliffe and his pillion rider, Lane, received injuries and lacerations to the body. However, instead of stopping to assist the men, the driver sped off, heading presumably to Georgetown. Nevertheless, the men were assisted by persons who witnessed the accident. The matter has been reported to ranks at the Rijnveld police station. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Coming up next is the National Outlook with GHK Lau.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.